Namaste, my loves. Here we are again, together. There's something extremely beneficial in consistency. The daily routine of us collectively taking our seats together. Good morning, Katie K. How's that sweet baby of yours? Nice to see you. So we'll get started in about 3 minutes. Yes, there is something very, very beneficial about consistency, especially during such times of turmoil, such an upset, to gather in this new way, in this new forum together every single day, sitting alone together. Good morning, Judith. Good morning, Peter. Good morning, Patrick. I love seeing the names pop in. Got some folks from the West Coast, got some folks from Europe. You know, it's a beautiful thing. We're here in the East Coast, gathering in this beautiful building. Those of you that have, good morning, Lynn. Those of you that have been joining regularly, consistently, if you just care to share, right? Like, this is so helpful for each and every one of us, just jotting a few words on how you feel about consistent daily routine and how it might be serving you, and, you know, your ability to voice where you're at can kind of open up opportunity for somebody else, maybe someone else that's tuning in for the first time. And for anyone that is joining us, choosing to sit with us for the very first time, you know, I aspire just to simply hold space, right? It's kind of the approach that I have, not kind of, it is the approach that I have here at Shakti, rather than thinking of me as, you know, teaching you something, all right? I'm holding space for us to experience something. Little guidance, little reminders here and then. So there's such power that can come through the unity of us, right? And that certainly does not have to stop during this isolation period. So please feel free to share comments along the way. It's a nice way for us to grow more bonded and more connected. Okay. Good morning, Judith. Let us tune in. Breathe in. Let's all take a moment to find something to offer. We all have something to offer. Even at the most trying time of our existence, we all have something to offer. See if you might just let yourself do that right now. See if you might offer freely, without judgment, without attachment. See if you might offer freely from the open space of your heart and your mind. See if you might offer freely from a place of trust and great value. Namaste, everyone. Hi, Laura. Hi, Mary. Hi, Liz. I'm thinking a lot today about my dear friend Filder again. He passed while I happened to be up in the high mountains, some 6,000 feet up in San Miguel, our blessed town where I lead the yoga retreats every year. And, you know, learning the news of him passing a few years back and being up in the mountains, a little closer to heaven and on sacred earth, this really, really helped me greatly process this deep loss and this great shock. You know, it's always challenging when you lose someone, you know, of your age, of your peer group. So anyway, I'm thinking about him a lot today. And I want to share with you just a little bit about him, what I admired most about him. And some of you might know him. He's a local artist, those of you that happen to live here where Shakti is. He's a local artist from the West Coast. And what I admired most about him was he was very comfortable with these kind of two sides of him, if you will, the light and the dark, kind of the angel and the devil. The impression that I got, and we had many, many, many deep, intimate conversations. We had really, really great open dialogue together. And from all of the granted precious time of open dialogue, the impression that I was given about his existence was he was very comfortable with both sides of this self, of the kind of angel devil within him. Essentially, he did not have shame for the darkness, for his own darkness. At least that's how it appeared to me. And I really was always taken back by that, and of course appreciate it more now that he is gone. But I think it can serve as a wonderful reminder, or maybe even introduction for all of us humans, that we do have a dark side. And how to embrace it is part of the calling of the yogi. You know, we always think about yogis in these like great states of light, which of course, you know, is the case from constant internal work, right? But the reality as human beings is, you know, we all come with a little darkness. We all got, you know, secrets and shadows, etc. And just even a dark mood, like your willingness to be, to embrace anger or jealousy or resentment when it comes up, rather than feeling like you shouldn't have those feelings ever in the first place, because you want to be good human beings, right? And I just find this particularly opportune right now because we're in this new moon, right? New moons kind of, you know, are the dark moons, right? You can't see it, right? We're in a greater state of darkness when things cycle up there and we cannot, you know, visually see the moon, right? So as always, as we deepen this kind of relationship to nature, we become students of nature as yogis or just as human beings, as we start to have this this coexistence with what is occurring above and below within nature, as this moon darkens, it calls us, right? It's kind of whispering to us to embrace the darkness, I know I get very muddled in my head during this time. Things get really kind of fuzzy and unclear during full moons, right? Once again, because there's not a lot of light shining through, there's not a lot of clarity coming through right now. So when that occurs for me, my job is to embrace it, right? And to go more further with it and see what can come through the darker sides of me, so that I can explore my whole self rather than just be with the one side of the self that I prefer, right? And this is kind of a tendency, once again, I'm very fortunate from doing private work with people, to people voice very intimately, where they're at. And this is a very common thing for all of us, is kind of that being afraid to kind of out the darker sides of us and have a relationship with them, as if they're going to take over and make monsters of us, right? Not to be afraid and not to live in a state of shame, I think, is crucial. And because of this nice unity that Phil, the person that I've been speaking about, because he had this nice unity of no shame of the darkness, able to just kind of live in the state of light and dark almost at the same time. It's my opinion, that's all it is my opinion, that's what really fueled his great art, I'm really, really fortunate. I'm looking at it right now. I wish I could turn the camera and have you guys see it. Maybe I'll photo it and put it on the little feed afterwards, but I'm looking at his painting right now. And it's poised in the most perfect spot for me when I'm seated at the altar in preparation for my daily practice, my daily sadhana, but also for me to be able to offer practice and assist others. That I'm able to see his painting every single day. And I feel so fortunate. Yesterday I was speaking about the kind of the team of support that I have by way of the gurus and the photos that I have, my counsel, if you will. And he's kind of included at that I get a visual shot of his work every single day. And, the painting is as light as it is dark. It has both equally, And it reminds me, to be okay with that, and to encourage others to find their own unity between the two sides of the self, right? That make the whole, right? Not to shun the one for the sake of the other, right? So creativity can be birthed, right? It's like the alchemy of the experience. Like, what do you have to kind of burn up and work with right now? Because that can fuel, right? Anger or anything that you might feel ashamed of, your insecurities, what have you. Like, that can fuel the fire to inspire, the next creation of your existence, right? Like the lead that becomes the gold, right? A creative process can come through much truer, much fuller, if we can allow ourselves to embrace our own darkness, and not to be too afraid of that. Okay. Breathe in through your nose and out through the mouth. Again. One more. As you take your seat amongst each other, see if you might ask yourself, why you've chosen to sit today with me, with us, with yourself. And try not to think too hard on what your answer is. Just ask the question and see if anything appears. See if anything arises from the question. Why are you sitting here right now? And if something comes, honor it. And if something doesn't, just be okay with it. Release the body. Sense the muscles softening. And sense the physical form settling. Allowing your body to ground down. And as you give yourself this opportunity to sit, acknowledge that you're giving yourself the chance to sit with yourself, your whole self, the self that only you knows inside. All of who you are in this blessed moment in time that you have been gifted to live. Nothing needs to go, nothing needs to be shunned or ignored. This is who you are right now. Can you sit with yourself, right? We are supporting you in the practice of sitting with yourself. As you continue to drop the body down, slightly lift through the waist, and gently open through the chest, and take a light rise of your head, opening to who you are in this moment in time. Whether it's clear or muddled, light or dark, favorable or un. If you're familiar, take your focal point to the space just above the bridge of your nose. If that's not happening today, just let it be okay. And bring your attention into your belly or your chest. Notice the breath. Observing how the air comes in and how the air goes out, how the belly fills up and the belly as it empties out. And softening the innards in such a way that the breath might deepen without force or strain. Observing the air as it fills the lungs. Observing those lungs as they empty out. And this breath, in its observance, in our observance of it, can serve as a wonderful buffer. And that buffer can help medicate and soothe. As you perhaps encourage yourself to embrace your own darkness. And preparing for our lung strengthening exercise. Empty the breath from the underbelly. Breathe in. Retain. Breathe out. Retain. 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 Release the lock of the underbelly. Sitting in observance of this breath, of this buffer, of this life force that lives inside the belly of the self. Allowing this breath in its newfound depth to give you the ability to sit with yourself as we support you in doing so. Honoring who you are in this moment in time, that you are human, that you are whole within your humanity. Nothing needs to be shunned or shamed. And softly float the eyes open. Let's do some tapping at the lungs. So we're looking for a really soft fist and light wrist as you tap at opposite lung to create a little stimulation here. And keep the breath going as you create this light tap. And then when you're ready, slowly switch sides. So we're breaking up some of the mass, right? Some of the dark stuff that maybe has been pushed down and pushed away a little bit too long, right? Letting it break up so that it can come up to the surface and we can have a relationship with it once again. Okay. Let's do inhale, arms up. Exhale out the mouth. Throw it up and out again. One more. Hands to the heart. And breathe in. And breathe in. Breathe in. Remind yourself of what you offered early on. Give it full value and great appreciation. Namaste. Thank you, my loves, for tuning in. Ed Kent, my college buddy. How are you, my darling? Feel free to leave word on today's kind of topic might be, if you care to jot down how it's helping you, the consistency of this little sit together and doing something in a routine-like way and in a regular-like way. If you notice that it's shifting anything or helping you manage this crazy time. And because what you put, it's valued by everyone, right? This is about how us as the human race get through, right? I'll photo Phil Durgan's painting and place it on the little feed in a few moments when we close up. Thank you all for tuning in. And like I said, I'm here Monday through Saturday at noon, and then we head over to Zoom for some physical yoga if you care to do that. As always, just like I said earlier, I don't really aspire to teach anyone to do yoga. I feel like yoga is a birthright and already within us, and it's the act of becoming more aware of our internal connection. So we're there to experience the practice of yoga together. If you care to join us, we're heading to Zoom. Christina will place that information there for you. All right, my loves, let's close it up. So this May, right, those of you that have been tuning in, this May you, right, it's an offering. I wish this for you. I want this for you. I want this for all. May you be safe. May you be healthy. May you be happy. May you live with an easy heart. Namaste.